Доброго dня. Hello. It's really wonderful to be here this afternoon, and thank you everyone for being here. I really want to thank partners across the government, the Rada, my fellow ambassadors, and civil society. It's a real special organization that can bring together civil society and government. It's not always easy, I know. And Olya, it's really what makes you and the team at OPORA special and different. And thank you for bringing us together and asking such good questions in your introduction. It's through this partnership that Ukraine will achieve its goals. Success on the battlefield against Russia's brutal full-scale invasion, and success in building a stronger and prosperous democracy integrated into the EU and NATO. I've just seen the latest NDI poll, which will be published later, and one of the things that stands out is that Ukrainians have one view. You have one view of your future, and that's this: a strong democracy, just as you said. What does that mean? Equal justice for all, freedom of speech, a government accountable to its people. This is the aspiration, as you said, Olya, that the people of Ukraine have demanded over and over again. In 2005, when you braved a cold winter on the Maidan in 2013, and for which your brave heroes are fighting for right now. It's this long-held aspiration that also inspires us. I want to look back just 10 years to the Revolution of Dignity, and to acknowledge the very real progress that you've already made. In 2015, our then Vice President, Joe Biden, stood in front of the Verkhovna Rada to speak of the flame of hope reignited by thousands of brave Ukrainians on the Maidan. This is an astounding level of unity and commitment for any country. And it is now in the face of Russia's effort to control your destiny, to determine your future, and to take away your sovereignty. For democracies, sovereignty is when your institutions are strong and not controlled by unelected outside forces or influences. It's when your government has transparent and accountable processes reflecting the direction of leadership elected by the people. And that's why it's so critical to emphasize the non-military, non-security dimensions of Ukraine's security agreements. I'm so proud that we, the United States, signed a historic 10-year security agreement just earlier this month with President Zelenskyy and President Biden. This agreement joins more than a dozen other countries who have made the same commitments to Ukraine's security. As part of our agreement, and as an important part of Ukraine's long-term security, our support includes support for your reform path. And the simple fact is this: continued progress on that is key to your populations, your people's, and your leadership's aspirations to join the EU and NATO. And Ukraine and you have made incredible progress even during Russia's full-scale invasion. I just have a few that I can even think of since I've been here in the last 2 years plus. One, strengthening Ukraine's anti-corruption institutions. When I came, there were no heads of any of the anti-corruption institutions in place. And since then, there has been a credible, transparent process that includes input from international partners to do so. Number two, using and expanding digitization in order to improve public services, in order to reduce corruption in the provision of these services, including in the recovery and reconstruction process. Number three, passing corporate governance reform that meets OECD standards. This is incredibly important because you have thousands of state-owned enterprises which control a lot of your resources. Number four, steps to strengthen the justice sector. This is complicated. I won't even try to start to go into it, but there are many steps that are required to fill thousands of judicial vacancies. And this is very important to attracting the kind of private sector investment that you need for the recovery. And then lastly, steps to improve the business climate. And I'm really pleased to see the Rada pass the Bureau for Economic Security reform legislation, which will help to reboot an institution to also give confidence to those businesses that are looking to invest in your future. The United States has been your proud partner in each of these reforms, and I'm just touching on some that I think are the most significant. And we will be with you as you continue to strengthen your democratic institutions to secure your future. This includes preserving the vital role of civil society and independent media, the sacred trust that all democracies have to shine a light on ourselves, to hold ourselves accountable. It means ensuring that transparency in government processes is held as a standard, as much as possible, every single day. This is crucial to building public trust. And it means protecting the voice of all Ukrainians, from frontline volunteers, to local government, to veterans, to those displaced by Russia's invasion, to be a part of the process of both fighting for your future and rebuilding it. The bilateral security agreements you'll discuss today, from our perspective, are a holistic approach to your security. Obviously, first and foremost, you're fighting for your territory, and not just territory, for your people, for your communities, for the families, for what is Ukraine's sovereign land. But you're also fighting for this future. And these agreements reflect our solemn commitment to the Ukrainian people's chosen future. I'm confident, and I wouldn't be here if I weren't, but I'm confident that you will achieve this future. I hear it expressed every day in your leadership. I see it in the people in government, in Rada, civil society, in the media. This is not going to be an easy process or easy way forward. But I'm confident that you're going to achieve this future you have long sought. One that is secure and sovereign, as well as prosperous, democratic, and integrated into the transatlantic family of nations. I'm so proud and honored to be here in Ukraine right now at this point in history for Ukrainians, but also for Europeans and for Americans, because what happens here matters to us too. And to do everything in our collective power to enable your success in this very sacred goal for yourselves, for your children, for your children's children. So thank you so much for inviting me here today, and I wish you an excellent conference. Thank you.